So this section, I really want to cover the personal pronouns because we really need to know those. And then I want to work at the third declension adjectives that we also need to know. Sorry, I'm just reading the study guide. So, the first thing to do is to go over the personal pronouns. And I'm probably going to repeat these a few times to really let them sink in. So, nominative is ego and nos. So, ego is singular. Ego means I. Nos is plural, and these are both nominative. Nos is we. So once again, nominative, ego is I. Nos is we. Next, genitive. Me, or me long I, means of me. Nostri, or nostrum, is plural, and it means of us. So once again, genitive is me. Me long I, it means of me. Nostri and nostrum is of us. So mihi is to or slash for me. Nobis is to. Sorry, nobis is the plural, and that is to or slash for us. So once again, this is the dative section, and that is going to be mihi, which is to slash for me. Okay, and that is the singular. And nobis is to slash for us. One final time, mihi is to slash for me. Nobis is to slash for us. Alright, now onto the accusative. Me, or M long E, just means me. And nos, N long OS, is us. And those are the accusative. That is when it is the direct object. Now we're on ablative. It's the same thing as accusative for the singular, which is just me, M long E, and that means by me. Or nobis is the plural, and that means by us. So if you pay attention, in the plural, the ablative and dative are the same, but one is to slash for us, the other is by us. Alright? Just making sure that that sinks in. So as an exercise, I want you to write out everything you just heard. And I know that sucks because you're in the middle of a VR game, but at the same time, I need us to get this down. So now onto the you on the second person pronouns. So tu, T long U, is just you. Wos, or you long O, S, is you as in you all. Okay? So I'm going to repeat that again. The nominative section is T long U, and that means you singular. And then wos is you long O S, and that means you plural. Twi means of you, and that is genitive. And so that is TUI, and that's of you singular. Waistry, or waistrum, is UESTRI slash UESTRUM, and that means of you, and that's the genitive. Just to double check, Twi is of you, and Weistrum is of you all. Tu long I is of you singular. Uestr long I is of you plural. Now on to dative. Tibi is T/4U. Sorry, is 2/4U. And that's TIBI. And that's going to be the singular. So TIBI is the singular 2/4U. 2B4U is how I think of that. Next is Wobus, and that's 2/4U in plural. And what you'll notice is that all of the plurals have U at the beginning, and all of the singulars have T's. So that is going, so Wobus is 2/4U. U long O, B long I, S. And that's the plural. And Tibi is 2/4U. Te is U, and that's T long E, and that's going to be accusative. Wos, or U long O S, is also going to be the plural. So as you'll notice, it's the same as the nominative. That's because all nominative and accusative plurals are the same. Okay, and so that's going to be te, as in you, singular, and that's accusative. That's when it's the direct object. Wos is you, plural, and that's when a group of people, or you all, is going to be the direct object. Okay? Very important. Te, and this is in the ablative. T long E means by you, and that's singular. Wobus is U long O, B long I, S, and that is by you, plural. So now I'm just going to go through and read all of the groups just one last time without the wording, just so we have the actual thing down, because I think he's going to want us to fill out a chart that just has the names. And maybe it'll have the, like, actual, we write everything out, but I don't think so. So it's going to, so we're starting with singular. Singular personal pronouns for first person. So ego. Ego is nominative. Me long I is genitive. Mihi is dative. Me long E is accusative. And me long E is ablative. So accusative and ablative are the same. Nos is N long O, and nostri or nostrum. Nobis, and that's N long O, B long I, S. N long O, S, or nos, is going to be the accusative, and nobis, N long O, B long I, S. Okay, so then, and that's, now we're on to second person plural. Okay, it's going to be tu, or T long U, tui, T long U long, or sorry, T U long I. And then tibi, TIBI, te, T long E, and then te again, and that's going to be the nominative, genitive, dative, accusative, and ablative. So next, nominative is wos, genitive is wistre or westrum, dative is wobus, and then wos, and then wobus again, and that's going to be wobus for dative, accusative is wos, ablative is wobus. Alright, next. Here, give me just 1 second to figure out what we're doing next. So next we need to be familiar with how third declension. So we need to go back to the third declension. So the third declension is interesting because so we need to look at omnis, omni, or ingens, ingentis. So here, I'm just trying to find where it talks about that. Okay. So now we're just going to read straight from the textbook because we are back on third declensions. So it is, most third declension adjectives have stems in I and keep the I in the ablative singular and genitive plural. They have the same endings for masculine and feminine, e.g. omnis is all, and then the stem is omni. So, now when we get to the chart, we have male and female is omnis, and neuter is omni. It has an N at the end. Same with and then going down to genitive, we have omnis, and then omnis for the neuter too. And that's 1H genitive. And these are both singular. So next it's, for accusative, it's omnum, and then omne. And then ablative, it's omni and omni. So that one's a little confusing. Be familiar, adjectives are slightly different. So yes, these are verbs though. So that's, or these are adjectives. So that's a little more confusing. But what is important to, so we'll just go over it again, okay? So I imagine the Dave listening to this isn't too confident either. So this is just going to be the singular. Male and female is omnis, or O-M-N-I-S, and then the neuter is omne, O-M-N-E. Okay, and that's for nominative. So genitive, or gen, omnis and omnis, and those are both singular. Next is accusative, omnum or omne, and that's accusative once again for male and female. Omnum is O-M-N-E-M, and then omne is O-M-N-E. And that's omne is the neuter. So then for male and female, and this is going to the ablative, for male and female, and the neuter, it's going to be omni, as in O-M-N long I. So now we move on to the plurals. So it is going to be omnis, as in O-M-N-E or long E and S. And then the neuter is going to be omnia. So that is the nominative. So once again, male and female is omnis, as in O-M-N-E-N long E-S. And then omnia. So then now we go to the genitive. And genitive has it to where omnium is both male and female and the neuter. Next is omnis, and omnia for accusative. So omnis is male and female. The neuter is omnia. Next, omnibus, or an omnibus for the neuter too. So both the male and female and the neuter for ablative is omnibus. Okay. Different from... Interesting. So here, I'm just trying to look. So then let's see, where does this differ in my chart? So far, I'm just looking. ES. Okay. Long ES. Sorry, I'm just taking a peek at the chart to see if that matches up. So, okay, yes, everything else is... Okay, so now it's saying, be sure to or review how adjectives agree with the noun in case and number and gender, but not necessarily with the exact same ending. So, what they're saying is a few adjectives have stems in the consonants. Example given is pauper, which is P-A-U-P-E-R, and then the genitive form is pauperous, where they have the ablative singular E, which is paupere, and the genitive plural, pauperum. The ending of the adjective is not always the same of that, which is not always the same as that of the noun, with which it agrees in case and gender and number. So bonus rex, or bonum regum, or bonum or bono rege. So or omnis feminae, omnis feminis, omnibus feminis is they're just nouns and adjectives that are from different declensions. Okay. How are we doing? 16 minutes. Honestly, it feels like I'll be able to get the rest of this done. Okay. So then next we're going to want to go into the infinitives and the verbs. So, okay. So the paradigm verbs are interesting. So it's paro, moneo, rego, and audio. And I know how to do these a little better than I know how to do everything else, I'll be honest. So, okay, let me just make sure I have them right. So what we need to learn how to do is do the imperative. So we're going to go find the book in the back, because I can do the infinitives pretty well. Where it's like monere, yeah. Rego is regere. Sorry, just give me 1 second. In the meantime, just think about everything we've learned. Probably restart the video to get it all down again. Okay. Okay, so nice. We have a nice little chart that will tell us everything we need to know for the verbs. Okay, so the imperative is basically the order. You know this, but I'm still restating it just because it helps. So it's like where you yell. You know, it's a command. So now the infinitive form is parare, or P-A-R, long A-R-E. And so, para is prepare. So that's where it's a command. Prepare. That's the imperative singular, is para. So just cut off that R-E. And then for the imperative plural, you take that A and you add a TE to the end. So that is the main change. So you take it from the infinitive to the imperative. You take it from the infinitive of the RE and turn it into the imperative singular, which is just where you take off that RE entirely. That's it. Everything else stays the same. And then if you want imperative plural, you add a te to the end. So we're going to go through that now. So parare is para in singular, and then parate, and that is spelled P-A-R long A-R-E. And then you should be able to get all the information you need from that. So monere is mone, which means to warn, right? So M-O-N long E-R-E. And then it's monete, which is the plural, the imperative plural. Regere means rule, or I rule, or to rule. It means to rule, because the infinitive is always to. So then it's regite, and it's R-E-G-E-R-E. Audire, which is A-U-D long I-R-E. And that's audi, as in here, or audit. Okay. A-U-D long I-R-E. Okay. And so now we have to know the new use. Okay, so first thing is we have to be able to use the third declension nouns rex, regis, and then nox, notus, and then litus or litoris. So here, let me see if there's a section in the chapter. Nope. Okay, let me see if I can find something there, because I believe those are like chapter 5, chapter 6 words. Give me 1 second. The third declension. All right, in chapter 5. So, rex, you have to remember. Okay, so I think this is going to want both singular and plural. Which, yeah, obviously, but I'm just not happy about that because it's a little stressful. But that's okay, Dave. You know why? Because we're fucking doing it. Okay. So, we are going to go through everything. So, when it comes to the third declension, that is basically the various forms. So, first, what we have to learn is that the third declension, because that's our biggest weakness, is we don't know our declensions at all. We are so bad at that. So, that is what I'm hoping that we can really get down, okay? So, nominative for the singular, so this is the third declension ending singular. So, nominative is, it is going to be, for singular, it varies. It's going to be blank. You know this. That's easy. Genitive singular is is. Short is. The dative is long I. Accusative is em. And then ablative is e. Or long I occasionally. But it's mostly e. Okay? So next, when it comes to the plurals, it's going to be long es, and then um/ium, and then the dative is going to be long I once again. So then the accusative is es, and then the ablative is ibis. So then now we are going, and this is just for these 3 words. So now we are going to go into, I'm trying to find the exact wording, I apologize. So now we are going to go into how to decline the third declension noun, rex. So then the singular form is rex, as in R long EX, and this is in the nominative. And then the plural is regis, so you gotta remember there's that switch. So it's going to be R long E, G long E, S. And then it's genitive, R long E G I S. And then plural for that is going to be R long E G U M. And then the accusative is going to be R long E G E M. And then I apologize. Sorry, I lost my entire train of thought. The accusative is, for the plural, is going to be R long E G long E S. So as we can see, it's lining up with that chart. And so next is going to be ablative, which is R long E G E and then R long E G I B U S. And however, because you're reading off a chart, this skipped the dative. So let's just go into that. So that would be regi, which is just R long E G and then long I. And that's for both plural and singular. Okay. Next is the word nox or noctis. And so that one is going to be, once again, just nox, N-O-X, is the nominative. And they don't have this in our book, but I took detailed notes of the declension endings. So they have, so yes, it's going to be N-O-X is just the nominative singular, and then the plural is going to be just noctes. So that instead of the X, it goes to CT, and then whatever the ending is. So if you want it plural, it would be noctes. So N-O-C-T long E-S. So now we go to genitive, and that's going to be noctis, N-O-C-T-I-S. And then dative is going to be N-O-C-T long I, or nocti. And then accusative, singular. This is all singular except for when I was listing the datives. So I apologize. But it would appear as though I screwed up on the dative, so that's really awkward. So Dave, in post, you gotta really make sure you remember this, because Dave in here really just screwed up. So instead of regi for both, the long I is not consistent in both. Instead, it is going to be regi for dative singular, and then regibus for plural. Okay, dative is ibis. I want to make that clear. So once again, I gotta talk about this for like a minute because I really fucked up just now. Dative is ibis. Okay. All right. Once again, dative plural is ibis, and then dative singular is long I. So now it's going to be nocti or noctibus. Okay? And ibis starts with a short I. Alright. Next is accusative, and that's going to be noctum, which is EM. And then ablative singular is going to be short E, so nocta. So just short E, and that's when it's an indirect object because it is ablative. So now going to the plural. The nominative plural for nocta is going to be noctes, so N-O-C-T long E-S. Or noctum, N-O-C-T, sorry, no, that's for genitive. Genitive plural is N-O-C-T-U-M. Noctibus, like I was saying, is going to be the dative, or N-O-C-T-I-B-U-S. So next is accusative, which is long es. So noctis, again, same as the nominative. That's a pattern with the datives, is that with the like third declension plural is that the nominative and the accusative match. So yes, it's noctis for accusative 2, NOCT long ES, and then long IBUS is going to be ablative. So noctibus. Noctibus. Alright. And so that is, so now the litus is going to be very interesting. Or litus. So L long I T U S. And it's going to be your neuter. And so litus is its base form, and then litoris is when it's after. So genitive, it'll turn into litoris. L long I T-O-R-I-S. So that's going to be long I. So litori is when it's dative. So litoris is when it's nominative. And it's also when it's genitive. So both of those are the same. And then dative is going to be litori, or litor long I, basically L-I-T, or L long I T-O-R long I. Okay. And then once again, we are going to have the accusative and the nominative are the same. So it's going to be so you're just going to spell it as normal, litoris. Okay, L long I T-O-R-I-S. And then litora is going to be the final one, and that's just an E. The ablative is just an E, and this is all singular. So now moving on to the plural is going to be short A, so litora is the nominative. Okay, so L long I T-O-R short A. And then litorum, L long I T-O-R-U-M is going to be the genitive plural. And then dative is ibis once again. So it's going to be L long I T-O-R-I-B-U-S. And then the accusative is going to be short A. So it's going to be the same as the nominative. So it's going to be L long I T-O-R short A. So litora. And then finally the ablative is the same as the dative, to where it'll be ibis. So it's going to be L long I T-O-R-I-B-U-S. All right. And so that is all of the all of the like breakdowns of the third declension nouns. So rex, nox, and noctis. So rex is king. Nox, here I'm trying to remember what nox is ship, I believe. Actually, I don't know what nox is, but it doesn't matter because we can declench it. Now, should I know what nox is? Yes, that's why I am searching it up right as I tell you, because, I don't know is not an answer I can afford right now. Because I am barely holding on to this class, and I've got to drop it if I can't make it. Nox is night. Alright? So nox or noctis is nocturnal. Think about it like that. Okay. Great. And so now we are going to go into the cases, because there is a lot here. So we just covered the third declension, so I just want to focus on second and first declension. So we're going to start with first, so this is the feminine. Okay. And this is how you tell everything apart, man. This was our biggest weakness for a while. We're starting to latch on. Now we just need the words. If we can get the words and we can get this, then you've got the whole language, okay? I mean, I am so confident that this will work because I don't have any other choice. So I need us both to really lock in and pay attention to these videos. So, nominative. First conjunction is short A. So yes, just short A, basic, and this is all singular. This section is singular. So nominative, short A. All right. Genitive, AE. Dative, AE. So genitive is possession. Dative is the indirect object. And so accusative would be the direct object. And ablative is the object of a preposition. Let me make sure that's right, because that doesn't seem right. The dative case. Okay, so the dative case is basically means to or for. Alright, so yeah, dative would just be like, this goes to someone, this is for someone. Okay, so next we're going on to the plural. Nominative is AE or I. Genitive is arum. Long A RUM. Dative is long IS. Accusative is long AS, and ablative is long IS. Alright, we're going to go through that again. So starting with the singular. A is nominative. Genitive is AE. Dative is AE. Accusative is AM, and ablative is long A. So, now going to the plural. Nominative is AE. Genitive is long A RUM. And remember, genitive is like of something. So that is of mine. You know, something is mine. So next is dative. That's going to be the indirect object. And we will go into vocative after this. I just need to get these down. Because, yeah, vocative is important because we don't quite know that well. I believe vocatives do look like the noun, do look like the nominatives. So anyway, dative is long IS, accusative is long AS, and ablative is long IS. Okay? So now on to the second declension. That is US, or for puer, UR, or ER, sorry. Puer is ER, and then long I is genitive. Dative is just O. Accusative is UM, and ablative is long O. So once again, nominative is US, genitive is long I, dative is long O, accusative is UM, and ablative is long O. So now on to the plural. A nominative is going to be long I, genitive is aurum, so long O U or long O R U M. Next is dative, which is long I S. Accusative is long O S, and then ablative is long I S. Trying to think. So yes. So once again, to repeat that, it is going to be nominative is long I. Genitive is long O R U M. Dative is long IS. And then accusative is long OS. And ablative is long IS. And so that is all of the declensions needed. And so now we shall figure out how to do the vocatives, because that is a direct address. Very important. Okay, did personal pronouns. How do I find vocatives? Give me just 1 second. I'm so sorry. Honestly, feel free to go back in the video if you feel you're not getting any of this. Okay. Okay. Okay, so the vocative case is identical to the Latin case usually. So we are going to be looking at the vocative case is for the direct address. So when someone is speaking to. So remember, this is different from the imperative case, which is direct address. You know. And remember, it is TE at the end. So what it is basically proper, so nouns get shortened to the long I basically when it is directing someone. That's the main thing, is they'll have the long I at the end. So it'll be like the nominative plural. And that's for second declension. For first declension, here, I'm trying to figure it out. Okay, you know what? We're just going to cut it here, and I will figure it out probably tomorrow. I'll just, like, email him and everything like that. Honestly, I don't see that being answered on the test, but I'm going to upload this, and hopefully that'll all work.